Hello, my name is Cortland Robinson, and this is the Benchmark High Stakes Project Team Scenario. Southwest Manufacturing has hired us as the management team charged with recruiting and managing the team tasked with designing and developing a new style of reusable smart water bottle. This can track your hydration and is to be unveiled in a highly visible setting at a large sustainability conference in front of both media and investors. The challenges associated with the project range from dealing with the pressure of high-level visibility to working with a limited budget on a strict 4-week deadline, which is a third of the industry standard. Our team members are Cameron, who is the cooperator and consul due to his skills in persuasion and diplomacy. His experience as a lawyer makes him the perfect chance to represent the team to outsiders. And his agreeable nature and ability to either integrate or compromise is exactly what is needed to support others' decisions as the team leader. Emerson is the completer and critic. His extensive experience in crisis management requires many follow-ups on the team tasks and progress, making him the optimal choice for the critic. And his ability to thrive under pressure to rally the group makes them the deciding factor in completing tasks. And they're always driven to make things complete. Jamie is our communicator and collaborator. His skills are group organization and fostering inclusivity. His focus on these skills gives him optimal opportunity to provide support space for discussion. And so he must be the choice for the communicator and is best suited to create social norms for the team as the collaborator. Skylar will take the position as creator. His energy and optimism combined with her energy and optimism combined with her flair for big picture ideas makes her the best position to lead the creative process. Riley is helpful in brainstorming, compromises, and prioritizes progress so she can contribute on several different levels of the process. Gwen's experience in logistics, blended style communication, and his inclination toward focusing on what is realistically achievable makes him the prime candidate to lead the overall project as contractor, while still being able to provide his expertise in logistics as coordinator. Let's see. Cameron is both as extroverted and agreeable. And for many of the reasons I just stated, his inclination towards compromising during conflicts matches many of the other members' sensibilities in avoiding decision-making process, being bogged down in disagreements, and keeping the team on schedule. Emerson's background in supply chain management will be needed to actually make and distribute the new product. He does well under pressure and works quickly with, which is necessary in making the deadline. Jamie's greatest contribution will be facilitating and sharing of everyone's ideas and unique perspectives into the team efforts to make the most of the team talents and abilities. He will foster a high level of moral support on the project and provide a higher level of morale. Riley spent almost a decade in, let's see, her experience in startups gives the team direct comparable insight and how to best manage the project. Her ability to compromise is in line with the rest of the group and will help streamline the decision-making process. And Quinn, his background, as we said, in logistics will be critical to organizing and implementing the creation and deliverable of the product as efficiently as possible to meet the short deadline necessary. Working to find middle ground between team members is both conflict resolution and finding quick solutions to problems. So that makes him the team lead. Team basically has a few differences, just on their preferred mode of communication, whereas some of the members think more in a visionary style or big picture, and others tend to work in a much more face-to-face negotiatory standpoint. The main conflict resolution is between compromise and integration. Compromise is sometimes sacrificing things, whereas integration works to actually take the best of everyone's ideas and make them work together. Personal motivations are kind of a combination of three things. Most people are achievement oriented. Some of them are affiliation oriented, and a couple have motivations and power. Let's see here. Those who engage in big picture style communication, electronic nodes such as email, run the risk of missing out on valuable feedback from team members, as well as that their style is more of a one-way form of communication. Those who sit for negotiations can have the feedback lead to conflict between team members is the negative with that. Let's see here. Communication is a key factor in being productive. While there's a lead on this project, there must be a high level of collaboration and a sense of shared leadership to be as efficient and productive as possible to meet this strict deadline. As it says in our text, shared leadership on diverse teams as it nurtures communications and collaboration among members, thereby enhancing team performance. Let's see here. Okay, so difference between integration and compromise. Compromise is a practice of sacrificing to promote the overall discussion moving forward. However, integration is more closely linked with the ideas of full collaboration that it searches for common ground and a solution that satisfies both or all ideas, which best lends itself toward innovation. The idea of majority of the team being motivated by feelings of collaboration and achievement make it so that everyone is heard and is willing to work hard enough to reach that goal. However, those seeking power will selfishly ignore others' ideas, good or bad, and introduce an exclusive feeling leading to conflict. When problems originate from the matrix structure, well, as folks were talking about our issues here, in which an individual reports to multiple people, clearly defining the zone of authority for each manager may be useful. Structural change, as it says in our text, a physical layout solution. Research has shown that when known antagonists are seated directly across from each other, the amount of conflict increases. However, if they're seated side by side, conflict tends to decrease. So you can change where people are sitting in discussions. Let's see. A vote is the idea that most votes is the one that gets implemented. The majority rule approach can work for participants that feel the procedure is, as long as they feel that it's fair. If negotiators are in positive moods, they tend to be more cooperative and less likely to engage in conflict. Practicing mindfulness allows individuals to change their perception of what the situation is before the situation forces them to experience strong emotions. This leads to more positive resolutions in conflicts, higher collaboration, and lower avoidance. As far as disagree and commit, ensure there's a healthy debate about specific ideas, but also make sure that the team is united once a decision is made. Majority of the team members have a communication style that prioritizes either compromise or integration. In particular, the contractor will use either one depending on the situation. Well, they use either depending on the situation. The team is also under a tight deadline and cannot afford to waste time in disagreement to reach the goal. And innovation, most of the team have a predisposition towards open-mindedness, which lends itself towards innovation. Along with the need to create a new product in a tech space, this is essential for that creative process to take hold and to innovate. So to promote the core values, you need to incorporate values into decision-making and conflict resolution. These actions could be specifying that there may be face-to-face interactions for each brainstorming session, or taking a vote from all members before making a decision. To lead by example, since collaboration is a core value, it is essential that the team utilize compromise, integration, in conflict resolution, and open-mindedness in decision-making to make the most of the team's skills and unique perspectives. Keep the core values visible. The contractor must exemplify the core values themselves to reinforce them to the team and inspire them to act accordingly. Strategies for effective team management would be conducting performance reviews. Teams who use after action reviews are, as it says in our text, 25% more effective than those that do not. Another benefit is that they are relatively inexpensive to do and can be implemented in a short amount of time. Being the definition of efficient, this works perfectly in our process of making a new product relatively in a short amount of time. Establishing norms, having understood norms helps teams be more cohesive and perform better, as it says in our text. An example from there also tells us about the surgical team's procedure, that when they work together, there's less overall errors. Establishing norms leads to greater levels of preparedness and therefore less time wasted. Creating a psychologically safe environment allows for more risk-taking, sharing of ideas, and open communication, all of which lead to greater team collaboration and effectiveness. This all culminates in higher levels of creativity. Increased creativity and collaboration are beneficial for team trying to create a new product on a shortened timeline. Strategies for effective team management, dealing with these certain challenges such as overbearing members. You should introduce a balance of participation to the team evaluation process. It acts as a check on those who tend to dominate discussions and those who shy away from public interaction and contribution to the group discussions. It essentially acts as a 2-for-1 as you get less dominance and greater participation within the team. As far as dealing with low-performing team members, if there's a lack of motivation, the group will tend to motivate that team member and focus on them. If that person is just simply performing poorly, they will work to train them. Poor performers are dealt with in the way that is deemed fair by all of the team members. And if you're dealing with poor communication as a challenge, communication should be viewed as an investment in the team, and there is a strong correlation between strong communication and effectiveness. A possible strategy would be to have teams eat their meals together, as some research shows that when team members eat their meals together, they're more effective as organizations, and they provide. There's also instances where those organizations will provide food and drinks, as well as areas for employees to meet informally over coffee and meals. There tends to be a high correlation of effectiveness when this takes place. In conclusion, for this team to succeed in bringing a new product to be unveiled in the most visible scenario on a relatively short timeline for the industry, they need to work well together to maximize their individual talents and contributions while also limiting the time wasted in disagreement. Management must continuously reinforce the core values by having the group routinely engage in processes that support their use within group dynamics. The team chosen has the appropriate temperament of open-mindedness to think creatively, to build a new product, while being predisposed to solving conflicts through integration and compromise to best collaborate as a group. List of my references will be provided here. And I used Google AI Overview on just a couple segments that I was having trouble locating in our text. Those are listed here. Those are my prompts. That is my presentation. Thank you very much.